Hey guys, how you doing? Okay, so we've got our house. Now I want to go back again. So when we did live in the apartment, I did end up working at a restaurant in the area. It's called Cavada's. It's out on 724 here, and I guess it's probably still Douglasville. Anyhow, I was young then, and I really didn't understand what was going on with me. And so, with all this kind of stuff. So at that point in my life, I started working at Cavada's. It was actually called Fair's Wings of the Wind at that point. And it's known in the area that this is a very haunted restaurant. And at this point in my life, like, whatever. I needed to make a few bucks, and I can handle what's going on in that restaurant, right? Can't be that bad. Can't be like the stuff I used to see in my bedroom, right? No way. So I get a job. In this restaurant, there was a huge shift in my life and in my world. So many things happened while I was working there. So that is when I became a born again Christian while I was working there. I did not last very long there. Okay. Now I started there, and wacky stuff started going on. The one night we were upstairs, me and another girl setting up for a party, or I don't know, one of the upstairs rooms, and had all the silverware set out, what is it? Oh God, now I can't even remember how to set a table. What is it? Knife and, to the left, forks to the right, right? So anyway, we had everything pretty much done, and we ran out of, I don't know, forks or something. So we ran back downstairs, had a cigarette, went back upstairs, and all of the silverware was switched sides. Now, you're talking to two women who did fine dining waitressing for years, and we know what we're doing, and there's no way we set that whole room up wrong. So that happened. Okay, whatever, right? And then went in one day, and like the pictures would be moved or sitting on the floor, and we'd be like taking break or doing, counting our checks at night, doing our money, cashing out, and we'd be sitting there, and these strong currents of these strong gushes of wind would go flying past us. And I'll never forget one night I was sitting there with all of the other waitresses or waiters cashing out, and I looked at them and I'm like, dude, what is up with this place? And they said to me, you'll either go crazy working here or you're going to find God. So you might want to start finding God. So anyhow, I was already going to the Calvary Church. I was, born again. It was all starting to happen. And the one night I went into the basement there to grab ice. So I went downstairs, and it was kind of like a very dirt floor there. And I had a big, gigantic, 5-gallon bucket with me. I couldn't carry that upstairs now, but I could then. So anyway, I walk downstairs with this bucket, and I'm standing in front of the ice machine, and I see a man hanging from one of the rafters, or like the ceiling, in the basement. I dropped the bucket, turned the fuck around, and ran up the stairs, and I'm like, oh my God, oh my God, oh my God. I didn't say anything to anyone. And I can't remember who it was, but they were like, did you get the ice? And I'm like, I'm not getting the ice. I said, I went down there and I saw a man hanging from the ceiling. Like, I don't think he's really there, but I saw him. And one of the guys said, oh, yeah, there is someone that killed themselves that way down there. And I'm like, oh my God. So then I start kind of like weirdly hearing them. And when I was going home to my apartment, they started showing up in my windows like I was on the 3rd floor apartment then. And they would show up in my bedroom window and look at me out of the window. And I thought, oh, whatever. Well, the one night I came home and they were in my children's bedroom window. There were 2 of them looking out the window and waving at me with like these nasty grins. And so I quit there. I really truly believed that I was bringing things home with me from that place. As I had believed my whole entire life that I lived in haunted houses. It just, I didn't understand what was happening. I just thought that everything was very haunted that I had ever encountered. Every building, every house, everything. Okay, so now I'm born again, and I am strictly on that path. And I'm sure kind of overwhelming at times because I needed Christ, and I needed protection. I needed protection. And I just knew that he was the only one to give it to me. And so my faith, not my religion, my faith became overwhelmingly strong. And it has never left me since. This is about the time when things started getting crazy with my dreaming, and all of those sorts of things. So I quit this job. Now, the dreams start. Not that they hadn't always been, but everything was being shoved at me in a very strongly. So the dreams start. Now, when I talk the dreams, I would have dreams that there were just normal people talking to me, and in my dreams I felt as though I trusted them. Some of these people even were my friends in my dreams. And they were people that I trusted, right? Not like my closest friends, just people like acquaintances that I knew. Most of them were not people that I knew, but that kind of stuff would be thrown at me. Anyhow, these people in my dreams, when I finally was like in the dream and really comfortable with them, their whole faces would like melt like candle wax, and they would turn into demons. So what these people, I would go with these people when they still looked like people in my dreams, and they would put me on an elevator, and I would go down 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 floors. I would go down 7 floors. Now, I've been on that first floor down, the second floor down, the third floor down, the fourth, I've been on all of these floors, and they took me through all of these floors. But let me tell you what. So if the earth is like our even plane, right? Where everything's like, it's fine, right? Okay. So like these levels beneath us, they're not good, right? They're not good. And they took me through these levels, and it was the scariest crap I had ever been through in my life. So in these levels, they would chase me and chase me and chase me, which is a lot of times why my husband would find me running through the house in the middle of the night, and he'd have to shake me awake. They would chase me and chase me. And throughout all of these dreams, I would run past Jesus. And he would say to me, "Why aren't you using me? Why aren't you using me?" And listen, when you're scared to death like that, you can't even think, right? You just can't even think. So this went on for years. And the one time I was in one of those dreams, instead of me running past him, he jumped in front of me. And he looked at me and he said, "Alicia, you need to learn how to control these things. You need to say, in the name of Jesus Christ, get away from me. In the name of Jesus Christ, leave me alone." He said you need to get that into your head, and you need to start using that on a daily basis. So now, okay, I can do this. But I'm telling you, I think it took me like a few more months to finally remember that in the middle of a flippin' dream. And guys, man, when I said that in the name of Jesus Christ to this demon that was chasing me around, and in the name of Jesus Christ, leave me alone. And I said it in such a powerful way, in such a knowing way. And when I did, this damn thing just went and vanished. And I woke up.